Hi, I'm Charmaine. Welcome to Curiosity Over Fear, where we have the difficult conversations about overcoming fear with courage and curiosity. So, whether you're looking to change something with your career or just everyday life, I invite you to join me on this journey to be less fearful and more daring. There's a study that's been going on for over 80 years. It's called the Harvard Study of Adult Development. And it found that the single biggest predictor of your long term health and happiness isn't your job, your fitness routine, or how much money you make. It's the quality of your relationships. That's it. Your friendships, your connections, the people you share your life with. And research shows that the lack of a social connection is as harmful to your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's linked to heart disease, anxiety, depression, a weaker immune system, even early death. We're actually in the middle of a loneliness epidemic right now. The US Surgeon General declared a loneliness epidemic back in May 2023. And then on November 2023, the World Health Organization declared loneliness as a global public health concern. These rising rates of social isolation has been a result of technology, mainly social media, the pandemic, and a culture that glorifies independence. We live in a world that rewards hustle, self reliance, and autonomy, sometimes to the point where we forget that human connection is just as essential. We celebrate the I don't need anyone mindset. We treat asking for help or leaning on others like it's a weakness. We equate success with doing it all on our own, which, by the way, usually leads to burnout. And we've been taught to focus so much on personal achievement that we lose sight of collective well being. But it doesn't have to be this way. I'll be honest, I used to think friendships or relationships just happened. That if someone was to be part of your circle or was your person, that the relationship would be easy or effortless. And there would be no need for awkward conversations or repair or space to grow and change. But now I know better. Friendships are living, breathing things. They change, they get messy. And the good ones, they take intention, especially in adulthood. It was easier when we were younger. When we were in school, making and sustaining friendships felt more natural because you'd literally see your friends every day. But even now, actually, teens and young adults are struggling to build these lasting connections because during the pandemic, social distancing shut down the very spaces where these friendships would typically begin, like the classrooms, the clubs, and the dorms. And for many, those relationships never had the chance to form. So basically, millions of friendships, maybe even lifelong ones, were lost before they could ever even start. Gen Z is now the loneliest generation, despite being the most connected online. Even with social media and 24/7 messaging, studies show that young adults today report the highest level of loneliness in any generation. TikTok, Snapchat, group chats, we're more digitally connected than ever, but somehow lonelier. Research shows that spending more time online, even actively engaging, doesn't ease loneliness. In fact, it often makes it worse. For Gen Z and young adults especially, social media can amplify comparison, shame, and FOMO more than it fosters friendship. I'm not saying that social media is bad, like anything, it's a tool. But social media does double loneliness, but only in one condition. Studies show that social media increases loneliness when it replaces real world interaction. But when it's used to supplement or coordinate in person connection, it doesn't have the same negative effect. So, the intention behind the way we use social media matters. Because let's be real. Most of us were never really taught how to build deep, nourishing friendships. We're told, oh, just put yourself out there, but not how to truly connect. The truth is, most people don't prioritize friendships nearly enough. And they don't realize it until it's too late. That maintaining close relationships take energy and attention. And even though friendships are essential to our happiness, they often take a backseat to everything else, like work, oh, because we have to commute, or we got a new boyfriend, or girlfriend, or parenting. So basically, life gets busy, and it feels easier to crash on the couch and disappear into distractions. And slowly, quietly, that distance grows. The thing is, most people are craving connection just as much as you are. They're just waiting for someone else to go first. And I get it. Being the one to reach out can feel vulnerable, but what if the person you're thinking of right now has been hoping you'd reach out too? Curiosity is how we open that door. Get curious enough to reach out, even if it's been a while. Get curious enough to ask how someone's really doing. Get curious enough to stay open. And sometimes it sounds something as simple as, hey, I've been thinking about you. Want to catch up? Or how have you really been? Real connection doesn't usually come from wild nights or perfectly synced interests, but it's built through micro moments, like remembering their big meeting, checking in after a tough week, or noticing what makes their eyes light up. And sometimes it's just asking one more question about them instead of just changing the subject or talking about yourself. And those moments, they come from being present enough to notice and intentional enough to act on it. There are people out there who would be lucky to have you in their life, but they can't see if you're hiding. And you can't find them if you're not looking. So start there. Friendships, at its core, is a living practice of curiosity. And choosing connection, even when it feels awkward or vulnerable, might just be one of the most powerful things we can do for our mental, emotional, and physical health. So if you've ever caught yourself thinking, I should reach out to so and so, this is your sign. If someone comes to mind, text them, call them, tag them, tell them. Yesterday, July 30th, was International Day of Friendship. And even though International Day of Friendship might just be another date on the calendar, but I hope this episode shows you that friendship isn't just something we have, it's something we practice with curiosity, with presence, and one brave reach out. And if you've been craving deeper connection, this is your reminder. It starts with you. Who in your life makes you feel most like yourself? Who do you miss but haven't said it out loud? Who do you need to thank for the way they held you when you didn't even know how to ask for help? If you enjoyed this podcast, please make sure to leave me a review so that I can send you a free Curiosity Over Fear sticker. Then after writing the review, claim your free gift by taking a screenshot and sending it to me via direct message on Instagram at Curiosity Over Fear. Thank you for joining me this week on Curiosity Over Fear. If you haven't already, subscribe so you can get a reminder to tune in every other Thursday for new episodes. And remember, always ask yourself, what would be possible if you led with courage and curiosity?